Hi everyone, Gerry Dekens here. Welcome to my first video blog, and as I mentioned on my first blog post, I will be giving you a complete presentation of the fan concept, and this is the first step before we start with all of our updates. By the end of this presentation you will have an understanding of how this revolutionary concept works. Please bear with me, it's a fairly technical presentation because I will also explain the Fibonacci algorithm. But don't worry, you don't need to fully understand everything I'm about to tell you. The only purpose for this presentation is to give you an insight on the cornerstones of the concept. So let's go to the presentation. Fortunity Alliance Network, or FAN, is a cooperative profit-sharing association. It already starts with some difficult words, but let me assure you we'll try to explain everything in detail in the presentation. First of all, I want to tell you what you're going to see in the presentation. We're going to explain to you what the cornerstones of the concept are. At first this might sound very general, but it will become much more clear throughout the video. FAN is based on a positive flow algorithm. That sounds very general, but we're going to explain this in detail because it's based on the Fibonacci system. It calculates profit sharing according to nature's law. The Fibonacci system is an algorithm found in nature. It unites multiple industries, achieving one common goal, and that goal is to actually unite these multiple industries. When creating this concept, what I experienced was that it started eliminating the negatives that you usually see in direct sales organizations, online marketing organizations, affiliate structures, and even traditional businesses. I've been creating this concept since 1998, and probably even a little longer than that. In recent years, it has changed somewhat. We have refined it a little bit because I've had a lot of input and help from a lot of people, and I've had a lot of experiences, both good and bad, of course, in these years. In about 2006, the serious plan started to take shape, and I started to develop everything the way it should be developed. Fortunity Alliance Network is the culmination of all these years combined. The concept can be summarized in a few words. Just look at this for a moment. Fort stands for strong, unity stands for togetherness, community, a strong community of diverse people in diverse industries, unified in one goal. We are unified as in we are working together in achieving that one goal, even without us knowing it. Because in this competitive society, the concept of working together is not an easy thing to do anymore. Unknowingly working together is a very strong concept. Without knowing it, everyone is helping each other, and that's what it's all about. One goal, one mission, creating a sustainable cooperative. This means that we want to use a balanced economic system to capitalize on multiple niche industries, reaching multiple targeted audiences, using the power of union. Everything else you see on this slide we'll explain later on. But first let me talk about the FAN concept. I've created a graphic for you to visualize the idea behind multiple industries. You see a lot of logos here. All of the logos either have an idea behind them, or a concept, or an already operating company, or a concept that is in development right now. This is a concept that we want to build in the next 20 to 25 years, and way past that. We have been working on it for a couple of years now, and in preparation for the real deal. Everything we do, everything we develop is long-term. All of these companies operate in different industries. This allows us to reach out to multiple targeted audiences. Every entity works separate from the others, and yet they are all linked to the FAN Co-op, a profit-sharing organization in the form of a cooperative. They each pay a small piece of what they would normally pay in commissions to their sales reps or affiliates or referring customers to the Fortunity Alliance Co-op. So in fact, it's a part of these companies' revenue that's paid to FAN. So in fact, they pay a revenue share. This revenue share is then calculated in FAN using the Fibonacci algorithm. 100% of this amount is paid back into the form of a profit share. All of the profit FAN makes is paid back to the companies and to the individuals where the revenue was first generated. Essentially, FAN always receives a share but gives back more. This is made possible by postponing the cash back and spreading it in time. It is not a time constraint. The value is built up by other companies generating new revenues and new commissions. The translation of how these profit-sharing commissions are returned to the members takes multiple shapes. It's not only just money, it can be rewards, it can be credits for buying products, a cashback on a product that was bought. For the trading companies, it will be in the form of a security buffer. For the loyalty card program, it will mean discounts. It might be free upsells for the subscription companies. It might be extras or extra earnings, anything that translates into what the people are looking for in that particular company. Two of the major keystones in the FAN concept are the research and development entity and our own charity organization. From waiting accounts in FAN and other sources of cooperative income, we will conduct a lot of research and develop new products and technologies in the field of pharmaceutics, energy, software, and any form of groundbreaking advancements we can support. To complete the circle, there is an important piece of the puzzle. The company-owned charity organization Globe Plus Alliance is deeply integrated in all companies linked to FAN. In GPA, we don't just donate money to causes and expect immediate results. Our vision there is to support long-term projects that really matter and can make a difference. FAN is a perpetual marketing concept. A nice word, perpetual. It means it's an everlasting motion. Perpetual marketing is of course a fairly new concept, but perpetual motion might be something that you learned about in school. It's a concept scientists have been trying to perfect for ages and ages to find a motion that will continue forever without having an external source of energy. That's a radically new way of distributing wealth. Some direct sales companies also have profit-sharing systems where they pay a big check to a small amount of people, while it was usually someone else who generated the revenue for them. And these people usually get nothing. So the wealth isn't distributed equally. We distribute the wealth in a completely different way. Equally and democratically, everyone has the same opportunities. To do this, we use the Fibonacci sequence, a very simple algorithm found in nature. Let's take a look at the sequence. If you want to know more, I suggest you search on the internet. There's a huge amount of information on the specifics and the applications of the Fibonacci sequence. Of course, it starts with 0, then 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on and so on. That's pretty simple. The past and the present combined equals the future. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. On the other side, there's one of the most complicated algorithms in math. The complication lies when you start doing calculations with these numbers. A whole new world opens up. In the example on the screen, when dividing the larger number with the smaller number, this becomes an irrational number. An irrational number is never fixed, but will always fluctuate between values, although almost unnoticeable. The outcome here is called the golden ratio. We call this number phi. Not to be confused with pi, but phi. Some of you might know about the golden ratio in architecture or art. This is a very fascinating algorithm that, in my opinion, everyone should know about. Something else before we start explaining the FAN system in detail, I want to introduce you to the hype cycle for emerging technologies. This is a market research done annually by technology research company Gartner Inc. I won't go into detail about the technologies they research, but let me take a moment to explain the steps used in the graph. This is to give you an insight on how new technologies are accepted by the masses. First, there's the innovation trigger. The reason why an innovative technology is triggered. It might be an idea launched by a company or an idea triggered by other technologies coming of age. Let's take the example of the mobile phone. It's probably one of the best examples because everyone is aware of how accepted this technology is today and what path it took to become this accepted. The innovation trigger for mobile phones was, in simple terms, be reachable everywhere. Following this is a peak of inflated expectations. Creating a new technology usually means that people start dreaming about its capabilities, how wonderful it will be. A big part of this inflation is fueled by promoting its unique selling points. As a natural effect, this triggers the next phase, the through of disillusionment. In case of the mobile phone, what really came out were devices that were so big you needed a suitcase to carry them around. The cost of using it was extreme, and the reception, naturally, was not optimal. So the technology didn't live up to its expectations. But in the slope of enlightenment phase, technologies start improving, and the early adopters start providing proof to others on the benefits of the technology, which makes it more accepted. That's when the plateau of productivity kicks in. It's the phase where technology is accepted and the masses start using it. It even goes so far that you can't imagine a society without it anymore. The mobile phone is one of the best examples because it has a hype cycle within a hype cycle. When smartphones started hit the market, it created its own hype cycle. The reason I'm explaining this graph to you is to be able to compare it to the Fibonacci algorithm that we use in the fan concept. As you can see, the two patterns are almost identical. This doesn't only apply to the hype cycle for emerging technologies, this pattern can also be used with anything you can imagine. All cycles of technologies, life cycles of companies, products, and even the cycle of life. When we put this on a chart, you can see that this is the phi calculation. We just showed you the numbers of the phi calculation. If you chart this on a graph, you can see striking similarities to a ripple effect. When throwing a pebble in the water, it will make first a deep hole, followed by an upward splash and then a ripple wave. Why is this interesting for you to know? Because using this formula, we ensure potentially endless sustainability in the fan concept. This sustainability is achieved by multiplying the number of applications joining forces and effectively leveling and widening the bandwidth of sustainability. We might be extremely successful in launching some companies and even extremely successful in keeping these companies alive for decades, but there's always the cycle of life. It's never the same intensity, never the same distance, and in quantum physics, for instance, everything has its own frequency. No matter which company or application, there will always be this cycle. Of course, the way I show the graph here is a very basic view. Sometimes the frequency is high, sometimes it's low, but it shows the cycle of life concept. The phi wave is always very clear. Another calculation that can be done with the Fibonacci numbers is the golden spiral. This is made by taking the square root of the sequential Fibonacci numbers and unfolding, if you will, the areas to form one big field. Connect the outer connecting edges and the result will be the golden spiral or the Fibonacci spiral. We won't go into detail here, I'm just mentioning it because I use it in the next slides of the presentation. If you're interested in knowing more, and I'm guessing you are, because this is one of the most fascinating phenomenons to explore, you can find all the information you could ever want online. The golden spiral can also be used as a business model for traditional businesses. It's called applying spiral dynamics. The best way to explain the distribution concept is to show you visually. I've placed all the spheres on the slide, but I've also included some of their applications around it. You can view this as a sort of timeline. We start with IrisCall, then Tradeland, we continue with Dinian, Phytology, AdLogic, e-ticket booker, meanwhile focusing on brands and applications that can be commercialized in all of these companies. There are more companies and concepts planned than what I can fit on this page. There are more than 50 concepts in planning stages to be launched in the following 20 to 25 years or more. These are concepts that we can hook to the fan concept, but probably even more important, companies that allow third-party companies to join in and take full advantage of the fan Fibonacci algorithm of profit sharing, with a near to direct link to the fan system. It works like this. Every product sold, every service sold in any one of these companies will generate a revenue share towards fan. In fan, this revenue share is split into two calculation modules, the personal profit share and the global profit share. The splitting percentage varies for each product or service and is tailored to their specific needs. The split could be 25% for personal and 75% for global, or vice versa, or could be 60-40, 20-80, whatever fits best. Let's start with the personal profit share and talk about the unique characteristics of this calculation module. First and foremost, the first registration is permanent. All companies directly linked to FAN have some type of benefits system. This could be an affiliate program, a discount program, a sales structure, anything that triggers the growth and subsequent commissioning system. Most of the applications use either cutting-edge marketing techniques to attract new customers or are such high-quality products that they sell themselves to new customers. We always track how new customers originated. Who was responsible for referring to this customer to one of our companies, and the first time a new customer signs up, they get a double or triple registration. One in the application, one in the company running the application, and one in FAN. The FAN system checks whether it's a new member or whether this member already is active in another company attached to FAN. If it's the first registration for this new member, that position will be permanent in the personal profit share system. Wherever this member will generate revenue at a later stage doesn't matter in which application or in which industry. Maybe they're going to start trading or playing some games or maybe book tickets online or follow an e-learning course. Even if you don't even know about it, you will always earn commission on the personal profit share side. In effect, on the personal profit share system, you earn on all activities of these people in applications or companies linked to FAN. This means there's an unlimited earnings potential because there is only a limited amount of positions in your personal profit share system. The system creates a natural overflow for you and the people in your organization. People who were before you might register more new clients than what fits in their personal profit center, and they might end up in yours. The total of commissionable levels is 12, as you can see in this table. To be in total sync with rules and regulations worldwide, it's not possible to pay a commission on your own revenue. But from level 2 onwards, the percentages go up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 14 and 14, to make an even 100% spread over 12 levels. The global profit share distribution system uses exactly the same algorithm as the personal profit share, so we have that proportion covered. But there are some major differences. First of all, there's a first come, first served system. The placements are done sequentially without the profit centers having a relation to each other. So you will not know whose revenue you're making money on. You will not know what application or company the revenue originated from or in which country the revenue was made. It's based on a fixed formula. You cannot manipulate it. You cannot increase it yourself. The only aspect you can control is what revenue you generate yourself in applications linked to FAN. The formula has 3 steps. The first step, that you generate revenue share. When allocated to the global profit share system, each €1 will generate a profit center with a fixed value. And each profit center accumulates 47.54 euros. Don't read too much into the irrational number. Apply the profit share percentages on a fixed €1 position and you will get 47.54. That's all there is to it. Very important, the commission originates from revenues made in other companies, other products, other services generated after the time that you generated yours. Let me give you an overview of how these profit centers work. But before we start, it's not important that you fully understand the next slides. I'm merely explaining them in detail because I know there are a lot of people who want the details. Don't get overwhelmed by the volume of information. If you have any questions, you can always reach me and we'll make new videos answering specific questions. So, to continue. In the global profit share system, there are multiple spirals, starting at a value of 1, then 2.5, then 5, then 12.5, and again 1, 2.5, 5, 12.5. And this continues to infinity. All of these spirals use the same algorithm as the personal profit share system. The big difference here is how the center is created. In the personal profit share, every position is a person. In the global profit share, every position has a fixed value, and each person can have multiple positions, up to 7 positions per corporate spiral. These are created when you generate a revenue share in an application linked to FAN. Each €1 position has a 47.54 payout when the profit center is filled. For the 2.5, it's 118.85 euros. Payout for the €5 profit centers, it's 37.7. And for each 12.5, the payout is 594.25. Profit centers continue to be generated for as long as you keep generating revenue. And they continue to be filled with revenue shares from multiple applications worldwide in different niche industries. There is a flow on how profit centers are created. They are filled up diagonally. We start with the first euro you generate. This is distributed upwards into other people's profit centers, as we do with everything you generate. Your next profit centers are created diagonally. So the flow is 1, 1, 2.5, 1, 2.5, 5, and so on and so on. This is basically the complete system explained. Again, I know that's a lot of information. I want to repeat that you are not expected to understand the ins and outs of the system, but let's continue with some additional modules. Because with creating the FAN concept, we have succeeded in making a revolutionary new way of distributing wealth using a perpetual marketing system. This is enforced even more by adding some future developments to it. These add-ons will be put into effect when the timing is right. Not sooner, not later. When the statistics show us that it's time, we will start the integration of the upcycling system, the recycling system, and there are about 4 to 5 more features which can be dynamically added to support the economic balance. So let's take a look at the recycling system. The recycling system is only based on the first 4 corporate spirals. The first one is the €1 spiral. For each of the 7 positions you potentially created, once filled, pay you 47.54. When we introduce the upcycling system, we will reduce the amount that is paid to 46.54. The €1 that we deducted will then automatically be introduced into the original position. This will not only happen with the €1, but also with the 2.5, the 5, and the 12.5. That means there is a never-ending cycle of commissions that regenerate themselves. But the most important thing there is the fact that the original commissions and the fill-up of your profit centers come from real revenues in companies linked to FAN. Commissions generated by selling products, free users may be generating advertisement revenue, trading systems where every single trade generates a commission, subscription services, and a lot more. The recycling system will become one of the cornerstones of the perpetual marketing system. The other future cornerstone is the upcycling system. You see that I faded out the first 4 corporate spirals that will apply the recycling system. We will now talk about the next module that's applied to the next corporate spirals. Once you've generated revenue to activate the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, etc., the recycling system will start working for you. Again, we will introduce the system when the timing is right. The upcycling effect is triggered automatically once there is enough commissions generated in the previous spirals. This usually occurs when filling up level 7 of the algorithm, and this is then continuously done according to the predefined steps. There is one exception. You notice that the 12.5 will generate 31 euros on level 7, triggering a 25 euro spiral. Consider this as a wink to one of the next future modules that I talked about, but I'm not going to explain. If you think we stop there, think again. We've made perpetual marketing concept even stronger. On top of the perpetual marketing profit sharing engine, we will introduce a perpetual marketing encapsulator. In simple terms, next to focusing on the algorithm, we also integrate a special accounting system. All of your earnings are split. The current key is 60-10-30. Use your debit card to withdraw 60% of your fan profit share commissions. The card can be used to buy products with connected providers and other companies linked to the fan concept. So deposit it on your bank account or buy products with companies that are linked to the fan concept that accept the PentaCard. 10% of your fan earnings are allocated directly to your pentacard.net loyalty card account in the form of pentacoins. This is something we're not launching now, but in a few months. No set date yet, but the system behind it is going to work much earlier for use in other applications. The credits can only be used with PentaCard's partnering merchants. It's not only fan companies that are going to be linked, but also third-party companies, and those can be anything you can think of. Stores in your neighborhood, if you want to go buy shoes or clothes, even food or groceries, whatever you need in daily life, you'll be able to buy with the PentaCard. Partnering merchants will give you discounts for using the PentaCard loyalty card. Now here's the kicker. 30% of profit share earnings are allocated to a trading account, and this will be linked to your name in tradeland.biz. You can already visit this website at www.tradeland.biz. It's already an active participant in the fan concept. We do this because we want to build a stable income for you, steadily growing your capital. 30% of all the earnings you get from the system are set aside. You could call it a fallback system where you are continuously building up your capital, and the magic is in what we do with this capital. We trade it in the products offered by Tradeland, which generates a nice profit. A percentage is released as income, if you desire so. And a percentage is compounded to make your capital grow even faster, because your profit will turn into capital. So your next profit will be on a higher capital. This is how we create sustainability. Introducing the 60-10-30 system into the fan concept, we have made a self-supporting perpetual marketing concept which is unique in the world. Fan has a concept that uses a mathematical algorithm found in nature to support sustainable natural laws in life. Success attracts success. Positivity attracts positivity. Passion attracts passion. Our goal is to give you the opportunity to find an activity that will enable you to reach your goals using your passion, having the success that you achieve doing so, sharing it with other people. First of all, thank you for staying with me until the end. Let's face it, this presentation is a lot to swallow, but if there's one thing you need to take away from this presentation, it would be that FAN is a brand new concept you can be part of. A concept that allows you to thrive by doing what you already like doing. And at the same time, other people with other interests do the same as you do. This means that you benefit from the efforts of other people with different skill sets and other interests. And that's a truly revolutionary paradigm and the essence of a successful cooperative. Any questions you might have, send them to contact@gerrydekens.com, and we will make dedicated short videos, video answers of recurring questions and post them online for everyone to see. Join us and be part of this exciting revolutionary concept, and check for more updates soon. Thank you.